Hello. In this video, we're going to look at downloading Unity and Visual Studio and all of the modifications to those two to get it to run perfectly the same way it does at college. So then you can do this all at home. Let's have a look at all this. To begin with, download Unity Hub. Doesn't matter what version. Most recent would be great. You can see I should really update mine, but it'll be fine. Next up, you can have multiple different versions of Unity. So you see I've got a couple of different versions now. Now it's which one do you need? For a project, you would make it in a version of Unity, let's say 2020. And then once it's in this version, this has new stuff or newer stuff than older versions. So you don't want to downgrade it because you're going to lose out on some information, most likely. You can upgrade it, that's fine, but you don't want to be downgrading it to a later version. So when you're in your projects, we could say like, let's add a project. So you've got Unity Hub, you don't have a big list of projects, you've just got an empty thing. So let's add a project that you've been working on at college. You can see I've got my tutorials project. You would add this, so you'd select folder here, and that would add it to the list. You can see in this, it's got all of your like assets build, so everything that's in Unity. So you'd click this folder and then hit select folder, and that would add the project to your Unity Hub. From here, you can see which version it's made on. So you can see here 2020.3 is my most recent one, so I've been using it on this version of Unity, and you can select between your versions over here. Which is fantastic. You can see some of them I haven't. So 2018, so a version which I must have uninstalled, even like 5.5, geez. You can see that if you go over the orange exclamation mark symbol, it says that you don't have the version, so you're going to have to upgrade it. You can click on this and you can see that. You have to select a version. So let's select a version, and you want to upgrade, never downgrade. So I could put on 2020 and then it'll be fine. Whereas up here, if I went 2019, that's going to mess up my project. So don't do that, only upgrade. So you've got your project and you can do that, that's excellent. Last thing quickly just to mention is that you can add modules to your installer. Oh, and if you don't have a Unity version that's at all, you can look at the Unity archive and download a new version. But anyway, let's add modules. So you want this ticked, the Microsoft Visual Studio, and then your version. This is then you can code and it will link them up nicely. Also, WebGL build support. This allows you to build as a web version of your game. So then you could upload it to things like itch.io, and also Windows build support, so then you can make EXEs directly on your PC to play, which I show off how to do in a different video. But yeah, so tick those two, click next, download them, wait for it to be done, and you're great. So that's all Unity Hub stuff, and then you can just click on this project once you selected the Unity version and everything, and you should be able to log in. If you have any licensing issues, you can go over here, click the cog, hit License Manager, and then you can add, activate a new license, and you can add this personal thing. So activate a new license, Unity Personal. I don't use it in a professional capacity. Hit done, and that will get you an account. Of course, you do need to be logged in to add a license to your account, but you don't need to prove anything about your, like that you are a student or whatever, like that you're not. You get what I mean. Anyway, next up, Visual Studio. So if you open up Visual Studio Installer, or you've downloaded Visual Studio Installer, download your most modern version, so for me 2019, and then over on this side hit Modify. Now don't worry about anything, just these two gaming ones, well this one gaming one. So we're working on Unity, so we want little helper stuff like game object and things that aren't actually C# or proper code at all. It's like a Unity's version of code. So if we add this, it'll understand what we're talking about, because it's like, oh yeah, Unity stuff, I got that, I know what that is. I have this game development with C++ for the Unreal part, because I do a little bit of coding in Unreal as well. So tick your Unity one, then C++ if you wanted to start doing Unreal as well, up to you, and then hit modify down at the bottom right. When you do that, it will download, it will directly do your Visual Studio, so that will be sorted, and then you can go back to your Unity Hub. You can load up your project, so click on your project, which I already have done to save time. Now, just a few things to do. You've loaded up Unity for the first time, you haven't downloaded it before at home. A few little things to set up. If you go Edit and then go down to Preferences, and then click External Tools, you can see you can choose between which version you want, of like what you're going to use to run your scripts. So I'm going to choose, well, I think it might need to be that one, but I'm just going to put 2019 because this works for me anyway. But yeah, it should pop up with your Visual Studio. If not, you can browse for it and find your actual Visual Studio, I don't know, wherever you saved it in, like your C drive or something like that. If the next part doesn't work for you, this is the button. If it doesn't give you a load of prompts and it's called IntelliSense, you can regenerate project files and then it should work for you, hopefully. Because we're linking our Visual Studio to our Unity. So if it doesn't have IntelliSense, this is what you want. So let's load up a script now. So you've changed your external tool, and now you will know that it's all worked when you come into your Visual Studio. And all the stuff like game object is green. So it's like actually telling you, base class for entities and Unity scenes when you hover over it. You shouldn't have all loads of errors and things, like this would be red, all this would be red if it wasn't working. Or it wouldn't be any color at all and it wouldn't tell you anything. Another way to tell is you can put a new line in and you can say game object and it should give you a little hint to say game object. So if I hit enter now, it just automatically puts in what I want. Also, this section over here with the Solution Explorer should be here, and it should look like this, like assembly C#. And then you can do the drop downs and you can see your files. And that means it's all linked together and it works. And that should be everything for you. You should be able to use Unity exactly how you want. And just don't forget the one thing that I didn't explain, to load up your C# scripts, double click on your C# scripts. Yeah, thank you very much. Enjoy doing work at home.